After the offensive against Norrköping has failed and trying to take the position and cut the Swedish armies in half before the onset of winter 1953, with snow setting in the north and our fuel reserves depleted, it is time to settle in for the winter, give the tank divisions a much needed rest after the defeat near Norrköping, and prepare for the offensive in spring once the thaw sets in. We might be able to make a push towards the Copenhagen crossing and Malmö, depending on the situation. But for now, we'll stabilize the front lines, get the divisions recovered, and I will be back when something interesting happens or when it's spring and we can launch the next offensive in better weather. Resistance in occupied Norway has reached the point of severely damaging our vital aluminium production. So I am going to relocate 2 of my operatives to work on resistance suppression in Norway, and that hopefully can put this down a little bit, and we'll see what the new resistance targets are. 29%, that's much better. Yeah, so we'll deal with the resistance. The front lines have mostly been stabilized. I had to change some divisions into anti-tank templates, given that there was an American tank division or 2 here that was attacking us. But the other thing that's been really going well over winter so far is have been the naval operations in the Atlantic. So our submarines have been very successful despite enemy convoy escorts to sink a fair amount of ships. So if we're looking at the overall losses, it's only the middle of January and we've already exceeded last month's quota and have sunk a fair amount of enemy convoys. So good job, submarines. But in general, we are going to have to wait for the tank divisions to be replenished, and we will wait for we'll wait for better conditions. And in the meantime, the Americans are launching some assaults, but they're easily repelled. The long winter operations have seen increased American activity along the Swedish front. They have been attacking us all along the front line. Especially this position has been a veritable hotspot, given that it is assaultable from multiple directions. We've built some static fortifications. I think I've got level 3-4 here, and we had to do some repairs. The situation in Norway is still critical when it comes to the resistance. It seems that the Norwegian resistance has adapted to our operatives' attempts at reducing it, and is still severely active in the area. So I think until we've managed to get to convince some of the locals to join in the police force, things are not really going to calm down anytime soon. But at least the Germans are handling the garrisoning with our weapon supplies. That said, I think our fuel reserves have somewhat recovered. The snowfall is, I think, I don't even know if we still have snow. We visually have snow, but I'm not sure if we practically have snow as well from a mechanical perspective. The tank divisions are mostly reconstituted after the disastrous losses at the Norrköping campaign, and I think we can get ready for an offensive. While I am just finding something to still research, it's going to be not much anymore. So that means we can get how's our close air support wing? Close air support wing is actually almost complete, so that can join as well. The general air situation over southern Sweden is the same as before. There are a couple of enemy fighters in the air, but nothing massive. We had a few naval invasions, but nothing major. The Germans are attempting to breach into Denmark at this point, but I don't think they're going to get across the river. We are going to have to wait for the ever-rotating icon heavy river assault divisions to be completed. And the first operation that we'll do this spring is going to be to push towards Malmö. Now that is going to stretch our front lines quite a bit, and as you can see, we're actually overloaded in Göteborg. And I am still constructing some railway lines to improve that situation. So I'm somewhat tempted to wait until that is complete, just so we don't overstretch our supply lines here. So I'll be back when these railways are complete, and then we will launch the offensive towards Malmö. And in general, we may actually just have to then go along the coastline towards Karlskrona, defend in Copenhagen. And once we have supply in the south here, we can probably cut off the rest of the divisions and then push north towards Stockholm. The other option we potentially have would be to try and push again across the river here near Stockholm. The problem is that we're at the limit of our supply lines here, so any push towards Stockholm is going to run out of steam just before Stockholm. We've tried that in the past, so it's better to try and reach Malmö. Probably we just have to improve the supply situation in Göteborg, and once that is done, then I'll be back and we'll launch the offensive. Okay, this is going to be as good as it gets in terms of supply. So I've brought in the mountain divisions, given that there is no additional. There haven't been any additional naval invasions, so we'll launch the assault with the armored divisions. And we will try to use the initiative to breach across the river and capture Malmö. And we will necessarily have to go along the railway line. So supply should be available once that is the case. Okay, we're ready. Tanks go towards Malmö. And we can widen the front line a bit, but I think these divisions here are so... they're so exhausted, the Americans here, after incessant counterattacks against our lines, that I don't think this is a big problem. Now we can bring the Air Force in. We've got 300 enemy fighters up, so let's grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wings on air superiority, and the close air support wing on ground attack. And that should help with forward operations as well. And we will see how fast the tanks can actually manage to get through the somewhat still snowy, but it's Sweden. It's snowy a lot area that we have here. And we'll bring in the mountain divisions to help out if necessary. But I've got regular infantry as well that is going to follow up the operations here. So we'll just have to make sure that we're not getting the tanks cut off as usual. And I think taking Malmö is going to be... the Germans... Oh, by the way, Germany has a massive demand in terms of trucks. It is incredible how many trucks they need. So I'll leave one tank division behind to defend just in case. And what I'm really interested about to see is if they are going to what is this going to look like in Copenhagen, because that might be an additional opportunity for our river crossing units to maybe get across the lines here. Okay, the tanks have taken Malmö, so now we wait until the front lines have been front lines have been restored, and we have sufficient supply in Malmö, and then we will probably try to not from here. We can attempt to take the airport, as we've got infantry following up now. So we've got troops coming in, but we do need to wait for the mountain divisions to make their way here as well, and obviously for immediately counterattacked. And I'll just have to make sure that we're not getting cut off. But it'd be interesting to take the airport. I might just leave the tank division here. Malmö should be safe, and then we can just push and extend the front lines from here a little bit. Because I don't think anybody can actually attack the port unless they are doing a naval invasion, which is entirely possible given the propensity of the Allies doing this sort of thing. And they have brought in, okay, they have brought in significantly more air power. So let's get everything over on air support and ground support. And I've got 2 more fighter wings that I can bring over to assist with air superiority over southern Sweden while we are running our operations here. Okay, how's that gonna look like? 1400 jet fighters in the air versus almost 1300 enemy planes. So we will see how well this is going to happen. And I think these are these literally just railway guns? I think they are just railway guns. So we do need to wait until the railways are connected, so Malmö can operate correctly. But we do need to keep this area here defended. So please get me 1 infantry division to hold the river crossing. Should be enough. And of course they have counterattacked. Yeah, I think the infantry just moved off of that tile. That's not a problem. We have a tank division here, and the mountain troops are on the way to help pad the front line. And then we will continue. And our next target for the offensive is to take Karlskrona. Meanwhile, yeah, losses in the air are decent. We are shooting down a fair amount of things, but I don't know what we're actually facing in the majority here, because they keep rotating those. Okay, Malmö retaken. You stay here, and we send the 1 infantry division just to hold Malmö, and then we'll wait for the mountain troops to make their way and help with the front line. Just have to make sure they're not coming across from Copenhagen. And these divisions are still too under strength to operate, but that's okay. Alright, and that's about as far as we can push it for now. We do need additional infantry to hold the lines to enable the tanks to go again. But I think we can already give them their. Okay, that moved them to the wrong troops. Oh, okay, I drew that for the wrong army. Hang on. We want the offensive, obviously, for the armored divisions. Once we have Malmö connected, we want to make sure that and that is not yet the case. Still going to take 10 days to get them connected, but once that's the case, we'll start the next line. It would have been nice to encircle all these divisions, but unfortunately, there's only so much initiative we can have until we're running out of fuel again. So probably once the infantry is here, we'll concentrate the tank divisions to push towards Karlskrona. These are plains, so that should be relatively easy. And then they should not have much supply left in the area, because Karlskrona, I think, is the only place, except from Norrköping and Stockholm itself, from which they can run supply. And once we have the railway lines obviously here connected as well. So that 1 division is going to hold the crossing to Copenhagen. That should be possible without too much trouble. And the air battle is ongoing, although I don't necessarily need to contest this. I think we'll stop contesting this for now, because we're not running any kind of offensive operations at this stage. So we have an airbase at Västergötland, but it is completely shot to bits, and it's a very small one as well. We have the range from here, from Oslo, to cover the whole area, so that's not a problem. Okay, mountain infantry is rolling in, and we are how many days away? 8 days. We are a week away from connecting the railway lines here. For the final push, I do have the American cipher decrypted, so we're going to be using that once we launch the final offensive there. And it looks like they are again trying to distract us with a variety of naval invasions. The one that concerns me is this one, because that's exactly what I was afraid of. So I may have to get 2 or 3 mountain divisions back. They knew it. They must. It looks like the Norwegian spies have reported that the mountain divisions have left their positions, which has immediately caused the Allies to plan another offensive. So we'll distribute the remaining troops along the lines here. We'll wait for infantry to come in, and then we are going to concentrate the tanks for the push. Yeah, the German infantry has rolled in as well. The Germans are helping out, so and I'm just bringing in some infantry divisions here to assist with that. But yeah, the Germans are helping out as well. So I think we are going to be instant counterattacks here. The question is, can the Germans hold? That is going to be a relatively critical question. I'm relatively certain that my tanks here can hold that against the American counterattack, but we may have to get the planes back in the air. Yep, let's get the fighters back in the air and at least contest this, and we get the close air support wing back on operations as well. There we go. To assist here with holding this position, because we do have to make sure that I think the German lines are about to break here. So let's see if we can fall back the mountain divisions to help them hold out. But it looks like the Americans are breaking through here, which is not a huge problem. We do have a tank division here, and the tank division just made it there in time. Against the American counterattack, we have 2 more mountain divisions actually coming in as well. But that's how important it is to get the infantry here, to make sure that that we are not getting pushed back, because there is a fair amount of American troops here. I can bring the Göteborg railway gun south now, so let's bring that to the front lines where we can. Not like that. Definitely not like that. Halt. Are we not yet done converting the railways? Oh, we're not yet done converting the railways. 4 more days. Okay, 4 more days. We'll hold on for 4 more days. Mountain divisions should be having this against the Americans. Yeah. 4 more days to consolidate this, and then we'll get ready for the next step. Okay, we don't need that many planes. No. Select half and take you out. That should be sufficient to contest what little air force there they have left. Took a couple of losses, but nothing major in the fighter wings. And actually a surprising amount of losses, to be honest. But that might have sent some more. They might have sent some better quality troops over. So now that the mountaineers are getting entrenched, the Germans are back in the lines. But yeah, we can't rely on the Germans to hold the lines for us. But the next push is going to be towards Karlskrona. And can we bring... No, we've got all the infantry concentrated in the north. We've got the mountaineers ready here in case for a counterattack, in case they do go through. And they've... no, they haven't cancelled it. In case they go through with their plans of an assault in southern Norway. How is the... Nope, still not finished. 2 more days. 2 more days, then we've got the railway lines connected, and then we are in a better shape. The whole winter operation has been quite beneficial for morale as well, because the losses obviously were on the enemy side while we were on the defensive, and maybe we can shorten the front line. I think that's probably worth it. We can try, instead of pushing towards Karlskrona, we can try to push north and cut off the divisions here, destroy them, shorten the front line, and then push to Karlskrona. I think that's the better choice. They have sent reinforcements, so I do need to send in additional air wings. Who do we have not yet committed? Let's get 4 more committed. That's to make sure we have a good numerical superiority and we keep shooting them down. Our air detection is very good due to our radars, and that should help as well. They never see us coming, so there are a couple of bombers active, trying to disrupt our logistics. 1 more day. So we'll just wait. Until everything is connected here, and we get the supply coordinated. And then we'll attempt a potential breakthrough towards the north. Although that's 6 American divisions, 5 American divisions here, and obviously railway gun support. That's the other thing. We can bring the Göteborg gun down to get our own railway guns. I think we are now. Are we connected? Almost. I think we're still waiting for... Still no supply connection. Still no supply connection from the capital. So we'll wait a little bit longer for the railways to be sorted. Can we bring... Yes, we can bring the railway gun in towards Malmö now. Maybe here. Yeah. Okay, and we'll just wait for the supply connection to get itself sorted, get the logistics organized. Unfortunately, that has given the Americans time to. It has given the Americans some time to dig in here, which I am not a fan of. So, given that these are, in that case, we're probably just going to go with the original plan towards Norrköping then. Would love to have a bit more infantry down here. But I mean, the German troops are backfilling, so let's just wait for the railway artillery to come into place. Air operations. Okay, that's significantly too much. Given that they're not attacking us anymore, let's stop the operations for now. Save the fuel as much as we can, and let them be, and we'll bring up the air again once we have once we are ready and the railway guns in place. And that is almost the case. Everything else looks stable. The assaults in Denmark have mostly ceased. I think a lot of the American troops from Denmark have been pulled off, which means we can probably simultaneously launch an attack here, because we might have enough troops to make this happen. Even if we're not completely finished, but I would prefer to complete the Scandinavia operation before we do that. Yeah, let's wait a little bit longer with that. We've got ace pilots promoted, which is nice. And where's my railway gun? Railway gun's almost in position, and railway gun is the Göteborg gun. Has been very busy over the winter and causing a lot of damage to the enemy. So let's see if we can push for Karlskrona and make sure that we get the reserve in. They are instantly counter-attacking. Think we should be able to hold that. We should be dug in by now. But they're instantly counter-attacking, trying to cut us off here. I'm reasonably certain that my mountain divisions can hold this, but we will see. And They have no fighters up in the air, so let's bring 1, 2, 3 air wings plus the close air support on into the air, get ourselves green air, and we'll see. This is what I'm mostly concerned of, that this is holding here. They're obviously aware of the danger that we're posing, and I do have to unfortunately somewhat rely on the Germans to hold the lines here against the counterattacks. But I think the tank divisions have pushed through. In that case, I'll leave the mountaineers here, and then we'll leave 1 tank division back, or 2 tank divisions back, while we're taking Karlskrona. And I think, yes, we're holding. We should have aerial superiority over Sweden. We can send a couple more fighters in. Generally, I would just send everything. I'm just managing my fuel reserves here, because the tanks are taking a lot of fuel. So we'll leave 1 tank division to defend, if we can. Maybe we can. Okay, yes, 1 tank division to defend and assist with the attack. And I think we're pushing through towards Karlskrona, which is going to kill the supply for all these divisions here. So once we've taken that, just checking the air. Yep, 2-to-1 superiority looks good. Then we again should have supply once Karlskrona is connected. And yes, we've overrun some divisions. Nice. We get 1 tank division to remain. No, you remain. Okay, it's very difficult to draw a fallback line here. We have captured a railway gun, I believe. Yes, we have captured one of their railway guns. And I'm going to get that tank division to just hold the line here, while the others hold in Karlskrona against the inevitable counterattack. But the Allied troops are now in the south completely out of supply, which means we can launch the... okay, I do want both of you to remain here, please. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. 2 divisions here, and we'll draw up a new offensive once we're in a clearer position. The Germans are backfilling the infantry, and the next offensive action is going to be once we have some infantry in Karlskrona to push north here, close the gap, encircle the rest of the Allied divisions here, and then wipe them out. The naval landings in southern Norway seem not to have happened, despite massive Allied presence. And they are bringing in more fighters, so I think I'm gonna have to get everybody up in the air to make sure we're shooting those down. Taking a fair amount of losses here in air battles against the enemy fighters. This is quite surprising. So it seems like they are. They're sending some of the better quality stuff over. And we've captured an additional railway gun, which is always nice. So yeah, we'll wait for the Germans to arrive. We're already gonna plan the offensive from here. So we get these 3 divisions. Your duty will be, or your task will be to capture, to encircle the enemy troops, and make sure that they are not getting away once we have some infantry in Karlskrona, because obviously I can't leave that, and Karlskrona needs to be connected as well. So that's going to take another week. But I think we are okay supply-wise. So we have infantry in Karlskrona. I'm hesitant to send my own troops over, but I know the Germans, and they're not going to be able to hold it. So I am going to get one of my mountain divisions here moved to Karlskrona to make sure that we are not losing the position there. Can move the railway guns a little north to make sure that they have that they are ready, and then we will begin. I need more infantry really here, but I don't want to rely on the Germans to hold the lines. They have the propensity to leave them somewhat empty. We can probably bring, or we can probably use these anti-tank divisions to counterattack from the north. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, push north, and these ones push here. And we have fortified the area, so the Germans should be able to hold that by themselves at this point. And now that we have the aerial superiority, I think we can make a move here. Is there no German division holding this area? Okay, you have to hold this area. Sorry. Stay and yeah, just hold here. The Germans are holding Karlskrona. Very thin in terms of divisions here, but I think we can make this happen. I'm just going to leave this tank division here as well, actually, and move them here. And these guys go there, these guys go there, and that should be the encirclement. All right, that's all sorted. Air situation still in the clear. We are taking some losses, but we're still shooting down significantly more enemy air than we are losing on ourselves. I am going to shorten the line here, make sure these guys stay where they are, and they can actually. Oh, there's an opportunity here to secure Karlskrona. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Instead of doing it like this, we're going to attack from here, and we're going to get the tanks to secure Karlskrona from the north. And that, together with the infantry assault that should close the gap here, we can hopefully exploit their positioning problems that have resulted from this operation, where that railway gun is still making its way back. And we can already launch an assault here as well. So let's get the garrison divisions north here to start shortening the lines. And we are going to attack along the front line, basically. And we've got two more divisions that can push the Americans here. That might be less than ideal, but okay, we have managed the encirclement. Mary has managed to get herself captured again, as usual. Mary gets captured a lot. So we are going to send somebody from Norway to go and rescue Mary, just so I don't forget that. And we're going to get you to rescue Mary, please. And we have secured, I believe, the Scandinavian front, and well, not completely, but we have caused a relatively large encirclement here, and we're just going to be making sure that everything here gets wiped out. Tank divisions can assist, and we've got a couple of American troops that are trying to retreat, but I don't think they are going to get anywhere. So we'll just have to make sure we redraw the front lines correctly here. After we're done wiping out, how many do we have? 7, 10, 14, 15, 14, 19, 20, 12. A full, if we include these here, full field army. So Karlskrona secured. The Allies massively on the back foot. The whole Allied front in southern Sweden has collapsed. And once we have all the supply coordinated here and the remaining divisions wiped out, then we will launch the next operation in good time towards the north. And yeah, and that's them. That's the remaining Allied troops here. I think a couple might have been overrun, but that should be a relatively significant victory. We're already seeing massive Allied losses from the smaller encirclement. And that's another victory in Smallland. We're at 50,000. And once we've overrun the remaining troops here, that should be still a little bit more. We'll just wait for that. And then we'll plan. There we go. Okay, that's just the overrun, so we have to sum it up ourselves. It's a fair amount. Probably all in all, way beyond 100,000 troops, Allied troops have been eliminated here, and the American position in southern Sweden, I think, is about to become untenable. So we are going to once we have Karlskrona connected, we're going to push towards Norrköping and just capture the port. We might actually just push along the... No, that's not a good line supply-wise. But we can push along the coast here. I think we might have enough supply out of Karlskrona to make that happen. It's 3 provinces. And then once we've got Norrköping connected, we'll just build a railway line along the coast already. Let me just schedule that. And there we go. I'm still building refineries a lot to satisfy our fuel consumption, but that has been, after the relatively disastrous first battle of Norrköping, a bit of a redemption for our forces. And yeah, the next operation will be to take Norrköping, cut off the remaining Allied troops here across the lakes. Recapture the territory in the north. This is very bad supply-wise, but once we hold Norrköping, we can take it from this side. And then Sweden is how far towards capitulation? Sweden is 74% towards capitulation. We will have to take Stockholm, I'm relatively certain. But yeah, after that things are looking good. And like I mentioned in one of the last episodes, this is still held via Copenhagen. So we are going to have to break through here, and I think next episode we can already move these divisions to the front, because the Danish, by losing the straits here near Copenhagen, had to reinforce, and I think we now have enough troops to exploit that. So I'm going to send the tank divisions and the heavy tanks here. Even though they are not yet at full strength, I think next episode we can start the river crossing, or the canal crossing rather, and we can start cleaning out Denmark and conclude the Scandinavian operation. But that's it for me today. Thanks everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.